Hello everyone. So today we'll be going to solve this question. Print all subarrays with zero sum. So here's the question. Yep. So the question says you are given an array of size n. Find the total count of subarrays having their sum equal to zero. So let's say the input array size is 6 and this is the array, so the output will be 6 and the output is 6. Why? Because there are 6 subarrays whose sum is equal to 0. So this is a subarray 1, this is a subarray 2, these both are equivalent to a subarray, so 3, and then this is a subarray 4, 5, and these two as well. So the count is 6 for this case. Let's take a look at another example. In this case, the output is 4 because there is a subarray which is this one, their sum is equal to 0, and there is another subarray, this one, which whose sum is equal to 0, and another one, this one, yeah, and this one. So basically, subarray is a contiguous elements of an array and where there is no gap in between, and we need to find the count of these subarrays whose sum is equal to 0. Let's take a look at how we'll be going to solve this. So a nice solution to solve this problem is solve this using the two loops. So these two loops will help us to give all the possible subarrays in this whole array, and we'll count the sum of each subarray by making a variable sum or anything like you like, and if the sum at any point becomes 0, we'll increment the result. So the time complexity for this solution will be big O of n square. Now let's try to implement a solution that is big O of n time complexity, and the space complexity will be big O of n, because we're using an approach called prefix sum technique. So what's a prefix sum technique? I have made a previous video where I've explained so basically I've solved this question which is where it is, find, yeah, this one, find if there is a subarray with sum equal to 0. So I've made a video before, I'll link it in the I button so that you can watch it. I'll recommend you to watch that video before solving this question, because we will be using the concept behind that question. So the concept name is prefix sum technique. So basically I'll tell you again what is prefix sum. So prefix sum technique is a way of solving a question in which we pre-compute an array before solving the actual problem. So let's say there are n number of queries, and in each query you have to find a sum of elements from particular range. So for example, there is a query, let's say sum, and we'll need to find the sum of elements from 1 to 5, and there is another query that is sum 2 to 6. We'll need to find, so in each query we need to find the sum of the elements ranging from these indexes, so from 1 index to 5 index, and another second index to second index, sixth index. So the ideal approach wouldn't be that for each query you will start with the loop and count the elements sum. That won't be an ideal approach. So for this type of queries, what we do is we pre-compute an array that's called a prefix sum array, and in big O of one time we'll get the answer for each and every query, whether it be millions of queries, and we'll get the answer for in big O of one time, constant time. So we'll be using that similar approach over here. So first of all, we'll start by making a prefix sum array for this given array. So prefix sum array is like this. Let me create one. So the number of elements in this array is 3, 6, 9, and 10. So let me. Okay. So what is prefix sum array? We'll add each and every. So the first index will contain the sum of elements from index 0 to index 0, basically. Yeah. For the first index, the sum of the first in the prefix sum, the first index element will be the sum of array elements from 0 to index 1, and in the second index the element would sums would be 0 to 2. So basically the prefix sum would look something like this. The first element will be 6, another element will be 6 plus minus 6 minus 1, that is 5. I have added these two elements. For third index, for second index, the value will be the sum of these three elements, which is 6 minus 1 5 minus 3 2. For the third index, the sum would be this, which is 6 minus 1 5. So 2, basically I'll add 2 plus 4 6 over here, and then it will be will be 4, then 6, then 10, then 16, and then 4, and then minus 3. So basically I've created this prefix sum array. Let's check whether it is correct or not. So the last element of this prefix sum is minus 3, which means the sum of all the elements of these array should be minus 3. So let's take 6 minus 1 5, 5 minus 3 2, 6 4, 6 10 16 4, and minus 7 3. Yeah, so it's correct. So now how I will be going to solve the actual question, which is to find the count of the subarrays whose sum is equal to 0. So that's easy. Why? Because see, if what we'll be going to do is we'll check whether in this prefix sum array are the elements repeating. So for this case, yes, the elements are repeating. Let's say the 6 is repeating. So 6 is over here as well as over here. So what repetition means? So repetition basically means that, say for this case, 6, the first index element of 0 index element of this prefix is 6. That means the sum of the first element is 6, right? And the third index element of the prefix sum array is again 6, which means the sum of this array will also be 6 of this subarray, right? That is what prefix sum array means, that the contiguous sum of that element starting from the 0th index. So the sum of these elements will also be 6, and the sum of these elements is also 6, which means if this is 6 and this is also 6, then this must be 0, because 6 plus 0 is giving us 6. So yeah, it is 0, because 4 minus 3 minus it's 1 minus 1 is 0. So this helps us to know that there is a subarray that's sum is equal to 0 in the original array by finding the prefix sum. Okay, so let's take a look at another. So there's another 6 over here, right? So this means, let's check the index position: 0 1 2 3 4 5, 0 1 2 3 4 5. So this 6 means the sum of elements from this to 0 is 6, right? And this is also 6, we have found it earlier. This is also 6 and this is also 6. So that will only if this is 0. This is 0 and this was 0, this was 0. Why? Because see, if there are repeating elements, then the part of that will be 0, and that is only way to get the repeating elements in the prefix sum. So for this case, let's take there are 3 6s over here. So this means now we'll need to check how many subarrays can be there whose sum is 0. So this is a subarray, this is a subarray, right? And this is also a subarray. So starting from 4 minus 2, it's 2. Let's take a look. Yeah, so this is 0 1 2 3 4 5, 0 1 2 3 4 5, right? So we need to find now how many subarrays there will be there if there are more than two repeating elements, sorry. So that so we'll start with this 6, and then we have got the second 6. So that means there is one subarray whose sum is equal to 0, and then there is another 6. That means there are two sub arrays for this 6. Why? The one sub array from this one and one sub array from this, which is let's say minus 3 4, 4 minus 2 is 2, sorry 4 minus 1 is 3, minus 3 0, plus 2 and minus 2. So this subarray is also equal to 0, right? So we need to take care of this fact that if there are more than 2 repeating elements, there might be more than 2 subarrays whose sum is equal to 0. So now let's try to code this problem. We'll be using a map to find the total we'll use the map to get the values of prefix sum. I'll explain you while coding it. Let's start with the code. So first of all, I'll be coding in Java here. So let's create a map first of all. So the return type of this function is long. So I'll be creating the keys as long because that is what I need, and the integer. So keys type is long and the value of the key will be of integer type. Let's name this map as map, basically new hash map. Alright, so I've created the hash map. Now let's create the main part, that is prefix sum. So I'll prefix sum array. I'll name this array as prefix sum equal to new long, and the length of this array will be the same as the original array, which is n. Right. So now let's fill the prefix sum array with the actual values. So I'll start with sum equal to 0 for int I equal to 0, I less than n and I plus plus. Sum plus equal to ARR of I, and prefix sum of I will be equal to sum, basically. Yeah, so that's an easy part. Now comes the main part. So till now we have created our prefix sum, and now for each prefix sum for each value of prefix sum we'll add it in the map, and then we'll check whether we'll do some checkings, and from that we'll find the total count of the subarrays whose sum is equal to 0. So now let's try to create an int value count variable which will store our result. Now for int I equal to 0, I less than prefix sum, now we'll iterate in the prefix sum dot length I plus plus. Yeah, so now let's try to put all these values in a map first of all. So for that I've used an integer wrapper class. The reason is that the simple int variable which we use cannot store null value, but the wrapper class of integer stores null. So that's the advantage of that, and we'll be using the same over here. Prefix sum of I. So if the value, if we haven't found that a map contains a value, then we'll add that value in the map. So map dot put. So first of all, we'll add that value to the map by prefix sum, and we'll add 1 to it. The value of that key will be 1 initially, and if it is already present in the map, we'll just increment the count, that the value basically. So we'll do plus plus value. So I've done pre-increment because if we'll do post increment, that wouldn't give us our results. So plus plus value. Now, okay, so now comes the main part, that is to count the total zero sum sub arrays. So as we are adding the values to prefix sum values to the map, we'll keep on checking the cases, right, which I've explained you earlier. So what is the case? Okay, I forgot to explain you a particular case. That is, let's say for this example, the prefix sum would be yeah, so let's say this is the example, and what will be the prefix sum for this array? It will be 0, then 0, then it will be 5, then it will be 10, then it will be 10, then again 10, right? So at any point, if in the prefix sum we have found a value equal to 0, that means the original array's value will be 0, right? So we'll check for the cases whether the prefix sum array is 0 or not. If it is 0, we'll add the count of that 0 present in the map. So what I mean over here is, if prefix sum of I at any point is equal to 0, what I'll do is I'll add the count of that 0 in the count variable by getting it from the map. So count plus equal to map dot get prefix sum I, right? So what it means, if so starting with this example, currently my map is, I'll draw my map data structure. So let's say our map is initially empty, right? I've created the prefix sum, which is this, and now I'm iterating through my prefix sum array. So initially I've got 0, so 0 is not present in the map. What I'll do is I'll add 0 as key and put the value as 1, which I've done over here. If the value is not present in the map, I'll add it in the map and put the value of that key equal to 1. That means the count of that key is equal to 1 presently, right? Now I'll check if it is 0. 0 means that the original array element is equal to 0. That means it's a sub array, and I'll increment the count as equal to the value of that 0. So count has now become 1. Now I'll iterate through the 0 again in the prefix sum. I'll increment the count of 0. I've got in counts value as, now I've got the value of this key is equal to 2. So I'll increment the count by 2, which now become 3, because now there will be 3 subarrays whose sum equal to 0. This one, and this as both. So basically we'll keep on adding if that's the 0. Else, if it is not equal to 0, what I'll do is I'll check if map.get prefix sum of I greater than 1. Because if there are 2 elements that are repeating, then only we need to check, not with the 1. So I've used that condition only, and then what I'll do is I'll count plus equal to map dot get prefix sum I, and what I'll do is I'll do -1 over here. Why -1? Because let's see for this example. Here we have found 3 6s over here. So for the first 6 I've done nothing. I've just added it in the map, and the value of that will be 1 initially. Then the value of 6 has become 2. The key value of 6 has become 2. What I'll do is I'll only get 1 subarray in this part. So what I've done, so 2, the count of the keys value 6 is 2, and I've done 2 minus 1, and I updated the count by 1. Then I'll go to this 6. What I've done, so now the value of 6 has become 3 in the map, and I'll do count plus equal to 3 minus 1, which is 2. Why 2? Because I have to take account this array as well as this subarray. So 2 subarrays for this case, right? So I've done -1 for this purpose only, and at last I'll return count. So let's return count. Also, this is should be of long type, I guess. Yeah. Now let's try to compile it. What's the problem? Okay, I've missed a parenthesis over here. It's line 65. If map dot okay. Yeah, so the answer is correct. Let's try for this case. Okay, I've created a dummy test case. Let's check for this test case. So the output for this test case should be you need to find 0, right? So this is a subarray whose sum is 0, 1, and this is a subarray 2, this is a subarray 3, and any other one? Yeah, I think this is also a subarray, so I think output should be from my, I guess. Yeah, so let's try to submit this. Yep, so the code worked fine. So the time complexity for this solution is we are iterating through the array one time, so the time complexity will be big of n, and the space complexity will be big of n as well, because we are using map and array, but that, so it will be n plus n2, and that basically means big of n, right? So thank you.